Hello guys, this is the second part of our lecture on construction. So next up we have equipment productivity. The major factors that impact construction costs are materials, labor, equipment, overhead, and profit. The cost of equipment for civil engineering construction projects can range from 25 to 40% of the total project cost. So guys, 'di ba alam naman natin na sa construction, malalaki yung equipment na ginagamit. Malalaki yung equipment na kailangan. So, yung pag-acquire nun, kung bibilhin mo siya, syempre, ang dami-daming millions nun. Kung i-hire mo, ang dami-daming pera din nun. And that amount ranges from 25 to 40% of your total project cost. Right? So, dapat alam mo yon. Now, once the equipment needs for an activity have been identified, the next step is to conduct an equipment productivity analysis to select the optimum size. Kasi iba-iba naman yung size ng truck. Let's say, truck yung kailangan mo, di ba? Merong iba na konting cubic meters lang yung capacity, may iba naman na times 2, times 3, ganyan. So, depende sa kung ano yung kailangan ng project mo, syempre yun yung kukunin mong equipment. Alright? Most engineering construction projects are awarded based on lowest cost. It is of utmost importance to the constructor to select the proper equipment spread, providing the lowest construction cost for the project. The project is segmented into various activities. Therefore, the lowest cost must be determined for each activity. Ayan. So, di ba, madaming equipment sa site. Pero, hindi naman sa lahat ng oras, sabay-sabay silang ginagamit. So, you as the engineer, as the constructor, kailangan iplano mo ano ba yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng activities mo sa site. Diba? Para hindi ka mag-hire ng certain equipment na hindi pa naman gagamitin at that very moment. Alright? Kaya may scheduling ng pagdating ng equipment sa site, kung ilang days lang i-rent yung particular equipment, ini-schedule yan. Kasi ang gusto natin, ma-maximize yung profit. Hindi naman pwedeng i-hire mo yung certain equipment for, let's say, 10 months. Eh, hindi naman yan gagamitin ng 10 months every day. Diba? So, ayun. Kasi ang main concern natin, syempre, is to minimize the cost. Without nang hindi na ko-compromise yung quality in order for us to make the most out of the project. To make profit. Kasi that's the goal din naman kung bakit nagkakaroon ng construction projects, diba? Alright, guys, so we have 5 categories of construction equipment based on purpose and use. Number 1 is earth-moving equipment. Number 2, construction vehicle. Number 3, material handling equipment. Number 4 is construction equipment. And the last one is tunneling equipment. So first, let's discuss number 1, earth-moving equipment. So, on the list, we have excavators. First is excavators. So, an excavator is used to dig and crush material on a site. So, it consists of a hydraulic crane-like boom with a metal shovel that has sharp prongs on the end. And your excavators are sometimes called power shovels. So, this is an example of an excavator. Alright, so ito. Matalas yung, kumbaga para siyang pala, no? Matalas yung dito sa dulo niya. Para pag binaba niya yan dito sa lupa, mahuhukay niya yung lupa. Alright? Next, we have graders. Graders are essential to the process of building roads. So, one of the components that flattens an area of dirt in order to build a road. So, it is typically 6-wheeled and has an elongated nose where the flattening metal plates sit. So, bago magbuhos, kung gagawing kalsada yan, so, i-grade muna, kumbaga papatagin muna ng graders. Yan. Next, we have loaders. So, loaders are mainly used to load material, such as demolition waste, feed, gravel, raw materials, used material, rock, plywood. So, kahit ano, pwede niyang kunin, i-pick up, and then i-load to another machine. Right? So, ayan, niloload niya onto another type of machinery, such as a dump truck. Right? So, syempre, ito yung kanyang pang-load, pangkuha ng materials, and then, iaangat niya, and then, ipapasa niya sa iba. Loaders have high productivity and lower maintenance cost, unlike most of the other large-scale construction machines. So it has a large bucket with a shorter moving arm. It consists of 4 large wheels for its movement, and it is best suited for earth moving, road construction, agricultural purposes, and also in large and small scale construction, which include marine structures. So, dami niyang gamit. Next, we have skid loader. So, ano naman to? This is also called skid steer loader. So, it is an engine-powered machine that has a small rigid frame. So, kapareho din siya nung kanina, no? Pero, this is smaller. Right? It's a small type of loader. Right? Skid loader. Then we have crawler loaders. So this one combines the stability of the crawler tractor with the abilities of a wheel loader. So, yung gulong niya, parang pang excavator. Alright, so, yeah. And mas stable yan, mas malaki yung kaya niyang kunin, kumbaga mas powerful. Yan. So, crawler na loader pa. Next, we have backhoe loader. So, another type of digger. It is equipped with a backhoe in the back and a bucket in front. So, ayan. Putol. So, ayan. There you go. It is a multi-use machine. It is similar to a tractor. It is operated by a driver, has the ability to push materials, with the additional benefit of scooping. Next, we have bulldozers. So bulldozers are pieces of crawler equipment and have many different uses. So it is equipped with a metal bucket plate. So this piece of heavy machinery is used to push, carry, and condense any sort of loose material on site. O, diba? Para siyang backhoe, may pang-push din siya. Pero this one it's a plate. Hindi siya parang hindi siya katulad nito na it can carry stuff. Ito pang push lang talaga siya. Alright? So there. Next we have trenchers. Trenchers are perfect tools for digging ditches, channels, or long, narrow holes for things like underground piping and cables. So this equipment is equipped with a heavy metal chain, made with incredibly strong steel, which it uses to cut into the ground and rip through things like roots, smaller rocks, and dirt. So, ayun guys. So, para siyang chainsaw, no? And, so, i-move lang yun pababa, tapos, ayun, mababasag na yung, let's say, yung konkreto, or matatanggal na niya yung mga, kumbaga mabilis siya na panghukay kung ang kailangan mo lang naman is narrow holes, 'di ba? Kung maglalay ka lang ng pipes, ganyan. Tas yung pipe mo for this one is maliit lang. So, kayang-kaya niya yan hukayin for you. So, trenchers come in a range of sizes and capacities, like a wheel trencher or chain trencher, which looks like a giant chainsaw. So, medyo maliit pa to. Merong mas malaki. Mas malaki. Next, we have wheel tractor scrapers. So, they're also used in earth-moving operations. So, they consist of a rear hopper, which can move vertically with a sharp edge for flattening a surface. The front end hosts a sharp edge to cut soil and a carpenter's plane for cutting wood. The two tools work together to fill the hopper and transport whatever material was removed from a cleared area. So, ito siya. Ito guys, naibababa yan. Tapos, pag binaba yan, i-scrape na niya yung area dito, area na dadaanan niya. Tapos, mailo-load yan dito. Meron siyang container. This is like a container. So, kung ano man yung ma-scrape niya dyan, sa taas ng ma-scrape niya, iipon yan dito. And then, this equipment can transfer the stuff na naipon dito, yung na-scrape niya, no? And then, pwede rin niyang may unload yon. So, lalabas din yan dito. Para syempre sa ibang lugar na, no? Ganon. And then number 2, construction vehicle. So, first we have tippers. Okay, so it is, a truck or lorry. So the rear platform can be raised at the front end to allow the load to be discharged by gravity. It is also called a tip truck. So this is what we call a tip truck. Now, ayun, kita nyo naman, diba? So, pwede siyang umangat ng ganyan, and then, diba, by force of gravity, kung ano man yung laman niya dito, mahuhulog na yun dyan. Yan. So, this is an example of a tipper. Alright, next up, we have dumpers. So, dump truck. A dump truck is a vehicle designed to transport bulk materials, this is often used in construction. It has an open dump head with the driver's seat and consists of a large box-like body to contain materials. So it usually has 4 wheels, where the entire load and the movement depends on. So, yeah, dump truck. Alright, next we have trailers. So trailers are unpowered vehicles towed by powered vehicles. So, this is a trailer truck. No? Ang trailer lang naman talaga dyan is itong box na to. No? This is the trailer and this is the trailer truck. No? So trailers are commonly used for the transport of goods and materials. These are sometimes recreational vehicles, travel trailers, or mobile homes with limited living facilities where people can camp or stay. These have been referred to as trailers. In earlier days, many such vehicles were towable trailers. Now, I've been assigned before sa site, and yung office namin sa site ay composed of a lot of trailers. No? Yun yung parang temporary office namin sa site. So, we're inside connected trailers. Ganon. So, ayan. Next, we have tankers. Tanke. A tank truck or a road tanker. Alright, tank truck for US and road tanker for the UK. So, tankers these are motor vehicles designed to carry liquefied loads, dry bulk cargo, or gases on roads. So, many variants exist due to the wide variety of liquids that can be transported. So, sa construction, ang nilalagay natin doon ay concrete mix. No? concrete mix, yung mga binibiling ready-made concrete. So, ayan, ilalagay siya sa mga, ayan, tangke. So, mixers. Yung kapag nag-order, let's say mag-order tayo ng concrete, ang gagawin nila dyan, dry yung materials niyan sa loob initially. And then, hahaluin na lang yan kasi 'di ba umiikot yung tangke niya sa likod. So, habang nagbabiyahe yung truck, saka palang minimix yung concrete para pagdating sa site, fresh yung concrete, hindi siya hardened. Kasi alam naman natin na mabilis mag-harden yung concrete. Alright? So, there. Next, we have number 3, material handling equipment. First, we have the crane. This is very popular. So, the crane. It is generally equipped with an elevator, ropes or chains, and sheaves that can be used both to move and to lift and lower materials horizontally. This is mainly used for heavy lifting and transport of materials to other locations. Alright, so this is an example of a crane. Next, we have conveyors. Conveyors, so these are mechanical handling equipments that move materials from one location to another. Okay, so these are especially useful in applications involving the transportation of heavy or bulky materials. So conveyors allow quick and efficient transportation for a wide variety of materials. So ayan, 'di ba? Medyo hilly yung area. So mahirap naman dalhin dun yung sand. Say sand. Kunwari yung sand mo nandito, tapos dito yung construction, 'di ba? Ang hirap naman umakyat dyan ng truck. So, what others do is they make use of conveyors. So, ayan, lalagay na lang dito, tapos, ayun, doon na siya, matatransport na yung kung anumang material yung kailangan mo to the desired location. Next, we have hoists. So, hoists are devices for raising or lowering a load by means of a drum or wheel lift to which wraps the rope or chain. So these can be operated by hand or driven electrically or pneumatically, and the chain or wire rope fibers are used as lifting device. So ayan, parang siya na yung lumalabas na elevator sa construction. No? Ayan, pwedeng sumakay dyan yung tao or yung material, ganun. There you go. Pero hindi masyadong mabigat. Next, we have forklifts. So this is also called a lift truck, forklift, or tow motor. So a forklift is a powered industrial truck used to lift and transport materials. So these are available in many variations and load capacities. In a typical warehouse setting, most forklifts used have load capacities between 1 to 5 tons. Larger machines up to 50 tons lift capacity are used for lifting heavier loads. So, ayan. Parang kukunin niya with a fork dito sa ilalim, and then pagka-lift niya, dadalhin na niya sa ibang lugar. Okay, so that's a forklift. And then we have construction equipment. Number 1 is concrete mixer. So it is a machine that combines cement evenly with aggregates and water to form concrete. So it typically uses a rotating drum for mixing the components. So ito manual na mixer, no? Ito naman yung mixer truck. So, ito yung na-mention ko kanina na pwedeng ang gawin nila is habang nagta-transport yung truck, saka pa lang minimix yung concrete in such a way na para pag dumating yung mixer sa site, ready na. Ibubuhos na lang yung concrete. Hindi siya yung parang matagal na na-standby dito sa mixer. Right? Next, we have compactor. It is a machine or mechanism used to reduce the size of waste material or soil through compaction. So, ayun. Pinipirat niya. Ganyan. This is normally powered by hydraulics. So, this may take many shapes and sizes. We have 3 types of compactors. Number 1 is the roller type compactor. So, ayan. Parang roller. This thing, sobrang bigat nito na pag dinaanan niya yung, let's say, unpaved road, pipiratin niya talaga. I-compact niya talaga. So, a roller type compactor is used for compacting crushed rock as the base layer underneath concrete or stone foundations or slabs. So, syempre, kailangan natin i-compact yung lupa. Kung saan tayo magtatayo ng something or kung gagawan natin ng kalsada, yung area na yun, syempre, dapat, before anything else, we compact the thing that is underneath, no? Kasi kahit anong ganda ng halo ng semento mo, ng konkreto mo, kung hollow, kung maraming void spaces sa ilalim, wala. Pag dinaanan yan ng truck, mababasag agad yan. Alright? So, yan. Important yung compactors. Plate compactor. Number 2 is plate compactor. It has a large vibrating base plate and is suited for creating a level grade, while the jumping jack compactor has a smaller foot. Ito mas malapad siya kasi yung tinatawag na jumping jack compactor siya yung number 3, ano? So, ayan. Ito. Ito yung jumping jack. See, it's so small as compared to this one. Kaya nga siya tinawag na plate. Okay, number 3 is the jumping jack type compactor. So it is mainly used to compact the landfill in narrow trenches for water or gas supply pipes. Road rollers may also have vibrating rollers. So ito, hindi naman kasi sa lahat ng oras pwedeng dumaan yung ganitong type of compactor sa area na kailangan ng compaction. So, minsan, ito lang yung pwede. And minsan, kapag sobrang liit ng area or kung ano man yung constraints, ito yung pwede. So, ayan. Next, we have pavers. So, also called paver finisher, asphalt finisher, or paving machine. So, pavers are engineering vehicles used to lay asphalt on roadways. So, normally fed by a dump truck. So, next, a roller is then used to press the hot asphalt mix, resulting in a smooth, even surface. So, as you can see, itong part na to, wala pang aspalto, diba? So, from here, nilalagay niya, this contains the hot mix asphalt or HMA. So, yan, nilalagay yan dito and then, ipupour dyan. Tapos, as your paver moves along, pinapatag na niya dito. No? Pinapakinis na niya para pagdaan niya, maganda na. Makinis na. There. And then, we have tunneling equipment. Last, we have tunneling equipment. So, first, dun sa tunneling equipment natin is road headers. They are also called a boom-type road header. So, these are advanced, self-forced, and extremely powerful rock-cutting machines that are designed to excavate roadways, tunnels, and compartments continuously. So these are powered electrohydraulically, and they produce no fumes that are used extensively in mineral mining, coal mining, and underground construction projects, where their capacity to excavate the desired profile without causing damaging vibrations is highly valued in both safety and environmental reasons. So ano bang itsura ng road headers? Ayan. Okay? So, ito, umiikot to and then nag-excavate. Next, we have tunnel boring machines. Okay? These are frequently used for excavating long tunnels. So, they're used for tunneling with difficult and complex geological environment, including rock and soil mixed and interfaced grounds, bursting rocks, squeezing and swelling grounds, highly fractured rocks. Highly fractured rocks, shear and fault zones, and grounds under high in-situ stress and water pressure. So these may be suitable for excavating tunnels which contain competent rocks that can provide adequate geological stability for boring a long section tunnel without structural support. So imagine nasa kailaliman ka na ng lupa, tapos maghuhukay ka ng tunnel. Kunwari, dadaanan ng tren, no? Magkakaroon ka ng underground tunnel for your train, ganyan. So you would want to make use of what we call the tunnel boring machine. Kasi ito, malaki yan. Tapos, umiikot siya, no? And dun sa pag-ikot, matatalas yung mga ngipin niya dyan. Malalaki yan. Pag inikot niya yan, syempre, makakrush yung lupa na nandito, madidisturb. So, saan naman pupunta yung lupa ngayon? Mako-collect din niya yan. Papasok yan dito sa loob. And then, may capacity siya dito para dun sa nako-collect na na-excavate na lupa. And paano naman yung nabutas na part? Let's say dito, syempre, butas na. Sobrang bigat nung load niya sa taas. Okay, kunwari kung ilang meters below the ground surface yan. So, syempre, mabigat yung load dito sa taas. Kapag binutas mo, mawawalan ng support. So, pwedeng bumagsak. What this does is, lalagyan na agad niya yan na support ng metal, ng support dyan. Kumbaga, parang puzzle pieces na pinagdudugsong-dugsong habang binubutas dito, may parang jigsaw piece na nilalagay dyan para makabuo ng tunnel na supported agad dun sa loob. So, that's how this one works. So, there. Tapos na tayo sa equipment types. Next, let's go to equipment cost. So, the cost of the project must include the cost of equipment needed to build the project. The constructor must be able to determine as accurately as possible the duration of each piece of equipment required for each activity of the project. So, ito na nga. Hindi naman pwedeng irenta mo ng, kung 10 months yung project, irenta mo ng 10 months yung let's say, crane. Hindi naman, di ba? Okay, so first, we have the following stuff that needs to be considered when leasing equipment. So, kung wala kang equipment, kasi nga, ilang milyon yun, di ba? Equipment pa lang. Uupa ka ngayon, magre-renta ka ng equipment. So, ano-ano yung i-consider mo kapag magre-rent ka ng equipment? Number 1, time basis for the rates quoted. It is common practice in the industry to base rates on one shift of 8 hours per day, 40 hours per week, or 176 hours per month. If these hours are exceeded, an extra fee can be charged. So, yan. Siyempre, kung sinabi mo, rerentahan mo lang ng 1 day, dapat isoli mo na yan after 8 hours. Kasi yun yung, napag-usapan nyo, 8 hours lang per day. Next, number 2, cost of repairs. So, the lessor usually bears the cost of repairs due to normal wear and tear. And the lessee bears all the other costs. Normal wear and tear would be expected to result from the use of the equipment under normal circumstances. This can lead to disputes because in many cases, normal wear and tear is difficult to distinguish. Ayan. So, repair. Siyempre, kung ikaw yung nagpapaupa ng equipment, responsibility mo na, na in good working condition siya. Pag pinahiram mo, pag pinaupa mo. Kung ikaw naman yung uupa, magre-rent, responsibility mo naman na ingatan syempre yung equipment na nirentahan mo. Alright? So, ayun, meron tayong tinatawag na normal wear and tear, pero yun nga, kailangan hindi naman pwedeng biglang nasira yung equipment, ganyan. Kung magandang binigay sa'yo yung equipment, tapos, nung isusoli mo na, biglang, sirang-sira. O, hindi naman pwede yung ganon. Alright, so, pag ganon, ikaw na yung magpaparepair. And then, number 3, we have the operator. Unless specifically stated otherwise, the operator is not included in the rental rates. Ang nirerentahan mo lang ay yung equipment, hindi naman yung taong magmaman dun sa equipment. Okay? Ibang bayad yun, syempre, yung operator. Either hahanap ka ng operator or meron ka ng operator sa team mo. Diba? Number 4, fuel and lubricants. So unless specifically stated otherwise, the lessee is responsible for the cost of fuel, lubricants, and all preventive maintenance work while the equipment is being rented. Yan. O gasolina. Hindi, ang pinapahiram lang sa'yo, yung machine. Hindi naman yung gasolina para patakbuhin yung truck, yung machine. Ganyan. So, ikaw na yung may cargo doon. No? Kung hihiramin mo, irerenta mo yun for 2 months, then all fuel and other maintenance work, preventive maintenance work, na kailangan ng machine, ikaw na yung magpo-provide doon. Kasi nasa yung pangangalaga yung equipment or machine for 2 months. Number 5, condition of equipment. It is a standard practice for the equipment to be delivered to the lessee in good operational condition and to be returned to the lessor in the same condition, less normal wear and tear. Siyempre, kung magpapahiram ka, kung magpapaupa ka ng equipment, dapat working condition, in good operational condition. Hindi naman pwedeng ipaparenta mo yung truck na hindi na pala gumagana, di ba? Yung madaming issue. Ikaw naman na contractor, bawa nang hiram ka, nang rent ka, syempre, ibabalik mo yun ng maayos din. Oo, ginamit mo, pero syempre, ibabalik mo ng good working condition pa rin. Okay? Number 6, freight charges. Unless specifically stated otherwise, the rental rates are FOB, the lessor's shipping point. So, FOB or free on board shipping point. Anong ibig sabihin ng FOB or free on board? Ibig sabihin, kapag, halimbawa, nirentahan mo yung isang equipment, kapag i-deliver na yan sa'yo, pag once na naiakyat na yan para i-deliver sa'yo, yung yung responsibility, wala na sa may-ari. Nandun na sa nanghihiram or nandun na sa bumili. Alright? So, it's your responsibility from the delivery point hanggang sa makarating sa site mo yung equipment. Alright? So, halimbawa, bumili ka ng ikaw na lang, bumili ka ng something sa Lazada or sa Shopee. Pag sinabi natin FOB, shipping point. Pag binagsak ni seller yung binili mo, tapos napatama ka pa doon sa courier na 'di ba, na hinahagis-hagis lang yung mga pinapadala, yon. Wala nang sagot si seller. Parang hindi na niya sagot yon. So, parang ganun yung FOP. Alright? Yung responsibility ni seller is hanggang maibigay sa courier yung binibili mo or yung hinihiram mo, nirerentahan mo. From that point hanggang makarating sa'yo, it's your responsibility na as the borrower or as the lessee. Number 7, payment of taxes. Normally, rental rates are payable in advance, and no license, sale, or use taxes are included in the rates. Alright. Number 8, insurance. It is a standard practice for the lessee to furnish the lessor a certificate of insurance prior to equipment delivery. Siyempre, may kontrata yan. No? Pag nirentahan mo yung machine, may kontrata kayo ng nagparenta na you will return this equipment, this particular equipment, ng ganito, ganyan, in good working condition. So, yon. And then, we have contracts and claims. Ayan. Contracts and claims. Because most contracts are economic exchanges, giving parties autonomy allows each to value the other's performance. To a large degree, autonomy assumes and supports a marketplace where participants are free to pick the parties with whom they deal and the terms upon which they will deal. So, ayan. Autonomy. Ano ba yung sinasabi ng autonomy na yan? So, kung ikaw yung nasa owner side, then you are free to choose kung sino yung designer na gusto mong kunin, kung sino yung contractor, kung sino yung supplier, ganyan, kung saan ka bibili ng materials for, let's say, your house, ganon. And kung ikaw naman yung contractor, so, you are free to state yung terms mo with your client. You're free to choose kung sinong subcontractor yung gusto mong i-hire. You're free to choose kung saang supplier ka bibili ng mga materials mo. So, that's autonomy. Now, the most common contractor relationships created by modern construction projects are number 1, owner and contractor. Number 2, owner and design professional. Number 3, contractor and subcontractor. And number 4 is contractor and the surety. So, first one, the owner and the contractor. So, syempre, magkakaroon ng kontrata yung owner tsaka contractor kung ano yung scope ng work, ganyan, gaano katagal, no? Next, we have the owner and the design professional. So, kung separate si design professional dun sa contractor, so, may may separate contract din. No? Contractor and subcontractor. So, kung ikaw si prime contractor, magkakaroon kayo ng usapan na legal ng kontrata ng subcon mo. Na, ito lang yung scope mo. Ito yung mga gagawin mo, ganyan. And last is between the contractor and the surety. So we have the basic elements of a valid contract. Number 1 is competent parties. So, the parties must be of proper age to enter into a contract and must have sufficient mental capacity to understand the nature of the agreement. So, syempre, bawal lang minor. And hindi lang basta bawal ang minor. Kailangan yung kukunin mong tao, gagawa syempre ng project mo, ng bahay mo, is yung someone who has the capacity to actually build kung ano man yung gusto mong ipagawa. Hindi ka naman, kumbaga, syempre, pupunta ka dun sa engineer, no? Kukuha ka ng engineer, ng architect, ganyan. Hindi ka naman pupunta ka sa doktor para magpagawa ng bahay, no? So, yun lang yung sinasabi nito. Dapat, kaya ng both parties mag-commit sa contract. Number 2 is offer and acceptance. It indicates that there has been a meeting of the minds or mutual assent. So, nag-offer si contractor, nag-accept si client, okay ako dyan sa presyo mo, sige, go tayo. Number 3, reasonable certainty of terms. So, the terms of the contract should be clear enough that an independent third party can determine whether the two parties performed as promised. So, dapat clear. Siyempre, hindi yung vague terms yung nandun sa kontrata nyo. So, pag binasa ng someone na hindi involved, mapipinpoint niya na, tama naman, nasa scope naman, ganyan. Ay, nako, hindi mo ginawa to, nandito to sa kontrata, ba't di mo ginawa? So, yun. Next, we have proper subject matter. So, contract subject matter must not be something that is illegal. Siyempre, dun tayo sa mga legal lang. Huwag tayong gumagawa ng mga hindi legal. And then last is consideration. Consideration need not be an equal exchange. Courts will uphold seemingly unbalanced consideration if all the elements of a contract are met and there is no evidence of fraud or similar problems. Minsan kasi nagkakainitan yung dalawang parties, tapos nagkakademandahan. So, ayan, kung wala namang nalabag sa kontrata, edi there's consideration, no? Next, 2 classifications of contracts. First, we have the fixed price contract. Number 2 is cost reimbursable contract. So, dun muna tayo sa fixed price. Fixed price contracts establish a fixed sum of money for the execution of a defined quantity of work. These contracts are often termed hard dollar contracts. Fixed price contracts fall into 2 major categories, lump sum and unit price. Lump sum contracts require the contractor to assume all risks assigned by the contract for their stated price. Adjustments to cost and extensions of time require a modification to the original agreement. Unit price contracts permit more flexibility by establishing costs relative to measurable work unit. So, example ng work unit, let's say cubic yards, square feet. So, ayan. Fixed price contracts allocate more risk to the contractor and thus require more effort, money, and time on design documentation before construction is initiated. So, ano ba sinasabi dito? Fixed price. O pag sinabi mong 1 milyon, 1 milyon. Ganon. Pag sinabi mong 2 million, 2 million. 5, 5. Ganyan. Tapos, dito sa, di ba may dalawang categories daw. Number 1 is lump sum. Let's say, ang scope mo is, gagawa ka ng, bungalow house na, let's say, ganitong square meters. Tapos, kung lump sum yan, tapos naka-fixed price ka, kapag tapos na talaga yung bahay, kapag nagawa mo na lahat ng naka-state sa kontrata nyo ni owner, saka ka lang niya babayaran. So, halimbawa, kung let's say, 2 million. Kung 2 million, Pag natapos yung bahay, saka ka lang niya bibigyan ng 2 million. So, walang kumbaga hindi by parts yung pagbabayad sa'yo. Diba? Napakalaking investment nun on the part of the contractor. Kaya, pag ganyan, kailangan talagang mabusisi ka sa documentation, sa pagpaplano, dapat strict ka sa schedule, kung pwede nga advanced ka pa. Tapos yung mga materialis mo, walang masyadong nasasayang. Ganyan. Tapos tama dapat yung mga calculations para hindi umuulit. Ganyan. No? So, talagang tutok ka dyan kasi once na, halimbawa nagkamali ka tapos ang daming masasayang, nako, palugi. So, that's lump sum. So, isang bagsakan. Next, we have the unit price. Ano naman to? Halimbawa, ang usapan nyo, sige, pag natapos mo yung living room area, ganyan. Ito, babayaran kita ng, let's say, ilang libo, ganyan. Kung ilang hundreds of thousands, ganon. So, parang piece by piece. No, pag may natapos kang area, ayan, bibigyan ka ng partial amount. No? Or, depende sa usapan nyo kung per square meter. O, diba? Kung naka 50 square meters ka na, ayan, ganyan. So, ito, mas okay to kaysa dun sa lump sum. Lalo na kung hindi naman ganun kalaki yung perang na itatabi ni contractor. Kasi kapag lump sum, mauubos ka eh. Diba? Baka mangutang ka pa dyan. Kasi hindi ka babayaran ni owner hanggat hindi tapos. Dito sa unit price, may aasahan kang bayad upon completion of certain work. Alright? So, yan. Next, we have cost reimbursable contract. Alright, cost reimbursable contract. So, reimbursable contracts allow for contract adjustments relative to overall project scope, as determined by the cost, and do not generally address a final fixed price. Cost reimbursable contracts require greater risk sharing between the owner and contractor and often require more owner personnel for contract administration during the construction phase to enforce cost and schedule. So, dito naman, para siyang parang araw yung trabaho. Dito sa fixed price, ang usapan parang pakyaw. No? Pakyaw, yung usapan dito, parang araw. Halimbawa, ang usapan nyo, ganyan. Tapos, nag-change yung mind ni client. Babaguhin nyo ngayon yung kontrata. Tapos, kung ang initial na usapan nyo, let's say, 500,000, tapos may mga pinabago si client, sabihin mo, ay, sir, naging 600 or naging 700 na yung project natin. Yung mga ganon. So, may adjustment when it comes sa price, no? Sa cost. Ikaw naman bilang owner, dito mas tutok ka. Kasi baka mamaya nagpapabago sa kontrata itong contractor mo, tapos hindi naman pala yun yung ginagawa doon sa site mismo. Right? So, yun. Next up, we have progress reports. Progress should be recorded in daily and weekly reports. Daily reports should be prepared by personnel who can report on field and office activities, weather information, subcontractor performance, workforce data, equipment use, visitor data, meeting notations, and special or unusual occurrences are entered into a standard diary form, which is filed, which is filed on site and in the home office. Progress reporting should include a photographic progress journal. A log of photograph dates and locations is needed to preserve the specific nature of the photograph. Photographs provide strong visual evidence of the site conditions reported in the progress reports. So, ano ba yung sinasabi ng progress report? Progress report, documentation lang ito, no? Kasi, ikaw bilang contractor, kailangan minomonitor mo yung project mo every day. Kasi eventually, may troubleshooting na magaganap dyan. May magkakaproblema eventually, no? So, ano na natin yon, i-expect na natin yon, may mga ganong occurrences talaga. So, for you to be able to better handle those situations, kailangan meron kang tinatawag na progress report para meron kang mahuhugot na, alam mo yun, pagbabasihan ng decision mo. Okay? So, progress reports are done daily, weekly, monthly, may monthly pa nga yan. So, ayun, yung reports are being done by people na nagta-travel from site to the main office, yung ganon. So, hindi lang siya forever na nasa site kasi pupunta siya sa main office to report the report. No? Ganon. So, yung progress report, syempre, hindi naman siya pwedeng, words lang. Kailangan meron kang backup, meron kang proof, evidence, dun sa mga pinagsasabi mo sa yung progress report. So, may pictures, no? Of course, dapat may date, ganyan. Kung may unusual na nangyari, you also have to include that in your report, no? Para well-documented yung project. Para aware yung main office sa mga nangyayari sa site. Okay? Kasi, halimbawa, yung main office nasa Manila, tapos yung project nila ay nasa Batangas, nasa Mindanao. So, ayun. Hindi naman lahat ng mga, let's say, designers mo na nasa main office, hindi naman lahat yan pupunta sa site to monitor if the design is being followed. So, meron lang, may engineer na assigned sa site, tapos magre-report every now and then sa main office. Right? So, that's progress reports. Next, we have claim preparation. So, claim. Claim preparation involves the sequential arrangement of project information and data to the extent that the issues and costs of the dispute are defined. So, halimbawa, ang project cost ay, let's say, 1 million lang. Pero sa dinami-dami ng sa dinami-dami ng pinagawang additional ni owner, mga changes, ganyan, naging 1.5. Kunwari, naging 1.5. Ngayon, si contractor, magfa-file siya ng claim. Siyempre, grabe, 500K, tapos ititiway mo lang, 'di ba? Siyempre, hindi. Magfa-file ka ng claim para bayaran ka ni owner. So, we have two approaches. But approached. Two approaches for filing claims. Number 1 is total cost approach, and number 2 is actual cost approach. So, total cost. Total cost is often used when the cost overrun is large, but no specific items or areas can be identified as independently responsible for the increase. The total cost approach is not a preferred approach for demonstrating costs. A contractor must demonstrate that the bid and actual costs incurred were reasonable, costs increased because of actions by the defendant, and the nature of the losses make it impossible or highly impractical to determine costs accurately. So, total cost approach, para siyang ano, parang, parang estimate, parang estimate na, oh, ito yung nadagdag na gastos sa akin. Nung pinagawa yung mga change and other stuff, no? So, that's total cost approach. Hindi siya masyadong reliable. Kasi, kung ikaw yung nasa client side, isipin mo, i-charge ka ng walang breakdown. Siyempre, gusto mo ba yun? Ayaw natin ng ganun. Kung, di ba? To think na ikaw yung owner, tapos biglang sasabihin sa'yo na, ay, sir, kasi sumobra na sa kontrata yung mga pinagagawa natin, ganyan. Tapos, ganito yung additional na ibabayad nyo. Without the contractor showing you a breakdown kung bakit may additional na ganon. And then number 2 is the actual cost approach. So, an actual cost approach is also called a discrete approach. So, this will allocate costs to specific instances of modifications, delays, revisions, and additions where the contractor can demonstrate a cost increase. Permissible costs are direct labor, payroll, burden costs, materials, equipment, bond and insurance premiums, and subcontractor costs. Indirect costs that are recoverable include labor inefficiency, interest, and financing costs, and profit. Impact costs include the time impact costs, field overhead costs, some office overheads, and wage and material escalation costs. So, dito sa actual cost approach, meron ng breakdown. No? Na, ito yung mga naging, tumaas kasi ng sobra yung presyo ng materyales. Hindi kaya. So, kailangan bayaran nyo yung additional. Mag-file ako ng claim. So, ito yung breakdown. Blah, blah, blah. So, that's actual cost approach. Right? So, good project information management will improve the likelihood that the contractor can submit an actual cost claim rather than a total cost claim. However, due to the complexity of some projects, the total cost approach may be the most appropriate method. So, sabi dito, yung total cost approach may be the most appropriate method. Pero as much as possible, syempre, mas maganda yung actual cost approach. No? Para iwas din yung lugi on your part. Kasi baka may na-miss ka na na area na malaki yung nagastos mo doon. So, it would be better to file an actual cost approach. No? Kasi yung basta ka lang magsasabi ng amount. Right? So, however, yun nga, kung super complex naman ang projects, tas hindi mo na matrace, wala kang ibang choice kundi mag total cost approach. Right? So, there. That's the end of lecture for construction. Thank you.